But that's all the basic stuff. You guys know this. Let's talk about some deeper levels of rapport. Let's talk about some intimacy. When we talk about intimacy, you guys might think straight away talking about sex, especially after me saying, don't touch. But intimacy is about self-revelation, revealing yourself. How well do you reveal yourself? And let me ask you this, how well do you get your customers to reveal themselves to you? There's a book, I would definitely tell you guys to go out and get it. It's called The 7 Levels of Intimacy. It's by Matthew Kelly. Phenomenal presenter if you can never see him on stage. Matthew Kelly. And he wrote this book, 7 Levels of Intimacy. And this isn't in your notes, so you can write this down. The first level is what we call cliche people. Cliche people. And you'll be in level 1 as well a lot. How are you? I'm good, thanks. What are you doing? Not much. Have a nice day. It's good to have level 1 conversation when you need to have a quick conversation, get out of there and go, yeah? So you might have it with the bank teller. Might have it if you're on the bus with the bus driver. Might have it with your neighbours. I know I have it a lot when I'm in my lift at my apartments. Oh, nice day, yes, yes. Cliche. It's not connecting though. It's good to have it and we need to have it. The next level is facts. When we start talking about factual stuff, I like to call it weather conversations. Nice day today. Yes, isn't it? Oh, gosh, and hasn't it been cold? It has been cold lately. I have to get my heater out. Me too. But do you know what? It's going to be pretty hot on the weekend, is it? Yeah. We've just had like the craziest winter. Yeah, we have. We have fantastic weather conversations, don't we? Why? We don't have to reveal ourselves much. And we can hold great conversations because it's fact. Who's gonna disagree with you that it's raining outside if it's raining outside? Also, men have great factual conversation, level 2 conversation, because they like to talk about their sports. They can talk about factual information all day. Oh, State Orange, and see that? Yeah. Gosh. What'd the score end up being, mate? Didn't see it. Oh, okay. Well, next week, what time's it on? Oh, great. And they can talk factual stuff all the time. We do it all the time to our customers. We might do a level 1 or level 2 conversation when we first sit down with them, have a chat to them when we've got them on the phone. But is this going to be connecting? Is this self-revelation? Is this being able to reveal ourselves or get the customer to reveal ourselves? No. The third level, the very third level, is when all hell breaks loose. It's when we start talking about opinions. We start sharing opinions. Because when we start sharing our opinions, does that reveal more about ourselves? Yeah. This is when we start to have a little bit of an argument. You see, the thing is, a lot of us can't share our opinions without the other person getting upset. And a lot of your relationships with your best friends, your partners, your family, guess what? When the arguments break out, they break out here because we start giving our opinions. And guess what happens with customers when they give their opinion? We don't like it. We think, oh, that's a bit rude, or he's a bit upfront, or she's a bit upfront. Goodness. But do you know what? That is good that they're giving their opinion because they've taken you out of these first 2 levels. They're taking you down to level 3. Now, this is just a model. Models don't change. That's just a model. People change. People move. People are flexible. This is just a model we're showing you. But opinions is when we really start to reveal ourselves. A lot of people stay in level 1, level 2. Relationships stay in level 1, level 2 because they don't want to go into arguments. Level 4. We start talking about hopes and dreams. Whoa. Now, how many of you can connect with a customer with their hopes and dreams? You guys definitely too. If I get the right building in the right location, I can have the business of my dreams. What are your customers' hopes and dreams? Pete always says to me, I don't know why, but when you talk to people, they share so much. Do you know what level 4 is about? Can you write next to there? Acceptance. It's when we start accepting people for being different, and especially, well, acceptance starts in opinions, being able to understand that we do have different opinions. But level 4 is when you might say to your customer, what do you want? What is your big end result? When I talk to business women, I say, what is your dream? How big do you want to get? I want to know their dream. Because, you know, some of us are so embarrassed to say what our dreams are, what we really, really want. So we keep it under lock and key because we're scared we're going to get judged. So if you can, a lot of you really want to start doing this in your conversation. You want to start drawing that out of your customers. Does this make sense? What type of conversations are we having? Are we getting them to open up? Are we getting to share what their hopes, their dreams are? What's the big picture? Not the immediate. What's down the track? Because then we start tapping into this. Feelings. It's when your customer is comfortable enough to start sharing their feelings with you. Look at the relationships that you have. The relationship that you have, the ones that are the strongest bond, where do you think you sit down? Most of the time, you're down here. Now, this is a moving scale. You're going to change from day to day. As soon as your best mate gives you an opinion, suddenly, yeah, back to the weather. Then we have a deeper level of game. Are you ready for this? Faults, fears, and failures. The 3 Fs. Faults, fears, and failures. Can you get your customer to share about that? In what ways? What are they fearing? What faults do they have? If you take it back to yourself and the relationships that you have, your deepest friends, the ones that you absolutely love, that you know they accept you for 100% for who you are, they're the ones that you're more than happy to share about your faults and your fears and your failures to. Now, out of the 2 sexes, which one do you think shares more? Men have two placements of communication in their brain. To apparently, they can't actually work it out, but it's around the high 60s for a woman. No wonder we can talk the legs off a chair. And we can talk about anything and everything. And we speak about 10,000 more words a day to a man. So if you're dealing with male clients, and I know some of you are, you're talking with men, doesn't mean you can't get them emotional. That's not it. But it just means that you're going to have women that will access the emotional cortex easier. They'll tap in easier. They'll share more. You might have to pull them up and get them back on track to really what you're talking about today in business. What's that? Yeah, and we're going to actually go over another model about the different types of conversations you get. But yeah, definitely shorter, logical, more factual. You think we do, but we just want to talk. So the last one, if you write down legitimate needs. Is breathing a legitimate need? Yes, if you don't breathe, you will die. Is eating? Yes. But then there's other legitimate needs as well. So in the 7 levels of intimacy, they actually talk about the physical, the emotional, intellectual, spiritual. And there's some that we tend to push aside a lot easier than eating and breathing because we know that we need that right now. But what are the legitimate needs of your customer? how often are you actually tapping into them? Because that's one of the greatest levels of rapport. How often are you moving out of level 1 and level 2 and moving into level 3, level 4, level 5? Let me share this little golden token for you. If you can even stay around in this area with your customer, the better it is for you, because the more that they look at you as you're a human being just like me. Being able to share this one, and not saying to share your faults, feelings and failures to your customers, but the more that you actually do that, just to your friends, let's just take it back to friends and family, the more it helps humanity and more that person actually feels normal when you actually share a fear that you have, a problem that you've had in the past. Oh, okay, that's happened with them. Okay, good. So I'm going to give you this little rule of thumb. 3 for 3. For every 3 bits of information you find out about your customer that you can't tell just by looking at them. So it's not like they've got a tattoo. You've got to find out maybe how they actually got that tattoo. It's stuff that you can't just see surface level. Every 3 bits of information you get from the customer, I want you to be able to drip feed. What's the word? Drip feed a little bit about you in there. Drip feed doesn't have to be at the same level. If they're sharing feelings or their faults and their failures, you could actually, agree with them and share your feelings, or people that you've actually worked with or you've seen before, or change that you've had. But you want to be able to share a little bit about you, so then I'm not the salesperson trying to sell my business, my product. I'm actually a human being connecting with you, and now I'm a net, and I have a bit of a background here. I've got more depth to myself. The 3 for 3. There's a magic number of 9 in communication. When you have a customer, share some stuff about themselves. When you start going past the number 9, and don't ask me how the psychologists actually work this out, but they actually go past the number 9, if I know 9 things about you, 9 things about me, and it's stuff that you wouldn't know just by looking at each other. If one of us has a pressing problem and the other one we know can fix it, we will share. How many of you guys are in the business of fixing people or helping a situation? Yeah? Then you guys want to be able to really have that exchange of information. Draw the line, keep it professional, but how much actually drip feed little bits about yourself? Oh, okay, what area did you come from? Cronulla? Oh, great, I used to live in Cronulla. How long you lived there? Every time I hear something that maybe I have commonality, what's the word? Commonality with, I'm going to drip feed a little bit about myself. But as soon as I drip feed about myself, I need to pull that fishing line back out and turn the conversation back to that customer. Oh, okay, so you live in Cronulla. How long you lived in Cronulla for? I used to live in Cronulla. Great. Whereabouts did you live? Conversation back to them, because it's not about you. You're drip feeding in so you can fast track the relationship. What do you want to do? Fast track it. You want to accelerate it. So that's the idea of the 7 levels of intimacy. You've got a process called match and mirroring. Who's heard of match and mirroring before? Yeah? Now, some people do it really sloppy. Fadwa, if you scratch your nose, I'd scratch my nose. No, it's not about mimicking. It's match and mirroring. So if I was talking to Fadwa and let's say she was standing there, as soon as I walk up, I can do an assessment on her. Straight away, she's got her legs crossed without having to go and look straight down. Do you guys see that? Because I know you're on a different angle. So I have to do the whole size up. I can see in my peripheral vision. So I can walk up and say, hi, how are you today? Great. And I could just do a similar body language. My body language is similar. My head is tilted slightly to the side. It's not this side. And I want to have similar proximity. Match and mirroring isn't just body language. It's voice. It's tone. Jean, you said before, you get a lot of men that's quite short, factual information. Well, have any of you guys heard of DISC? DISC is one of the oldest behavioural models that you can use. And it's understanding your different customers.